All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Bracha, Kodash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. Now, I was watching this video. Well, as you can see in the title, right, a very devastating day. And I was watching this live stream that was done by the elder apostle Ramlab. As the prophecies are speaking, the prophets are speaking. I don't remember the exact time stamp, but somewhere in the video he mentioned that phrase that I use as the title, right? A very devastating day, in reference to the return of our Lord Yahweh, Yahweh Shai, and really the time, the coming destruction that the Lord is going to bring upon this place. And in essence, when that time comes, we want to be accounted worthy to escape those evils by way of the Lord's mercy. As a matter of fact, that brings to mind this first precept, which we can start with, right? Second Ezra chapter 9, just going straight to the point. Um, verse verse 5. Because at the end of the day, what's about to happen, right? When the Lord fully unleashes that chaos, it is going to be a very devastating day. And I use the word day not in the sense of 24-hour period, but in reference to that time. Now, on the actual day that Yahweh Shai comes back, that is going to be a day unlike any other. Okay, that is going to be recorded in the eternal history. Now, this is the book of Second Ezra chapter 9, verse 5, because ultimately that's what it comes down to. Right now, we're doing the work, we're doing everything now in hopes that we would be of the elect, and we would get delivered. But delivered from what? Okay, we understand now. Why do you think we do the things we do? We have such, the fear of the Lord that we do, and which moves us to do the works that we do, because we understand the magnitude. Even that is to an extent, because when we actually see the devastation, the chaos, the destruction that's going to take place, we're not talking just civil unrest. They're going to be chaotic natural disasters, things that you haven't seen before. The scriptures talk about signs, okay, wild beasts. So you're definitely going to have fatalities caused by wild animals, and it's going to get even more and more as time goes on. It's going to get more and more destructive and less realistic, to put it frankly. Now, this is the book of Second Ezra chapter 9, verse 5. It says, "For like as all that is made in the world hath a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest." Yeah, so you have that life cycle, right? You have the beginning of something, you have the end of something, even conceptually, right? The understanding of a beginning and an end is really mainly conceptual, right? You start eating, you finish eating. You start walking, you stop walking, right? You start something, that's just how a beginning and an end. And the end that we're talking about here is really the end of this age. So just like everything has a beginning and an end, this age that we are in had a beginning, and now we're witnessing its end. So it says, "Even so, the times also of the highest have plain beginnings in wonder and powerful works, and endings in signs, or effects and signs." And that's what we're seeing. "And every one that shall be saved," now here's the point, everyone that shall be saved. So we're not saving ourselves, we're gonna be saved. "And shall be able to escape by his works and by faith whereby ye have believed, shall be preserved from the said perils." And when you read in the scriptures, there's many accounts of the perils. Like I listed a few. There's talks of beasts newly created, spirits created for vengeance. I mean, damn. spirits that are specially created for the day of destruction, so that they can lay on sore strokes and bring about various forms of judgment. See, the judgment that goes out today, there are some pretty horrendous judgments that go out today, but those don't compare to the special level judgments the Lord has for the time of Jacob's trouble. That's a part of that is what's going to make it such a terrifying time, because the kind of judgments that are going to be coming forth and how they are manifested and how people are taken out is going to add more brutality to the nature of the time that we're going to be in. You're going to be seeing different kinds of things you haven't seen before. It's one thing, right? Like death has many faces. So you can have somebody die in their sleep. They lay down to sleep and then they never wake up. That's one way. Then you can have somebody fall off a building. Then you can have a building collapse and crush somebody. Then you can have the earth open up and crush somebody. You can have I don't know, a hyena pop out of nowhere and just grab somebody by the jugular and rip it out, and all sorts of. So death has many faces, right? And right now you see things like shootings, stabbings, car accidents, people jumping off of shit, people getting hit by all these different things. These are main forms of judgment. Now, judgment has, you can be judged onto death. You can be judged onto just judgment comes in many ways. You can be played in the mind. You can be played physically, whatever form. Maybe something can just go wrong for you, whatever it is. But in terms of the severe penalties, the capital punishments, we see the base form of it. But in the time of Jacob's trouble, we're going to be seeing some different kinds of shit. Like, I mean, imagine walking in a certain area and you see a dead body, but the way it looks, alone is it can strike fear in you. You may see a dead body with like the whole midsection from the, I don't know, from the left trap all the way down to their left hip, with a nice decent size of their midsection, like a big ass bite, just taken out, gone. And you see like the hands are cut off. You see like the toes over here, and then it's beheaded. You see a corpse like that, what the you know what I'm saying? Like, what the hell? What kind of shit did this? People going, hey, it's gonna be devastating, man. But that's why it's gonna be very crucial that the Lord, you're on the Lord's good side during this time, because if you're not, you're gonna wish you were. It says shall be preserved from the said perils, right? And that even goes into things like famines and pestilences, and different forms. And shall see my salvation in my land and within my borders, for I have sanctified them for me from the beginning. Then shall they be in pitiful case, which now have abused my ways. See, so you're going to pay for your actions. Just like the elect are going to be rewarded for their actions. Those that don't take heed, those that abuse the ways of the Lord, that cast, it says, and they that have cast them away despitefully shall dwell in torments. And the Lord got something for you. So that devastating destruction that's coming, everybody's going to be looking to escape, and looking to for a way, they're going to be seeking shelter. But guess what? The shelter ain't going to be for everybody. Okay, so now, like I was mentioning, going back to, this is Amos chapter 5, verse 18. And it says, woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord. To what end is it for you? The day of the Lord is darkness and not light. And when you truly understand what the day of the Lord consists of, this will make more sense to you. Because a lot of people, number one, they're not even expecting it. A lot of these so-called Christians, and they come out and they say all of this. Listen, they're living their life with not even the slightest thought that, hey, maybe at one point in my lifetime, the Lord might come back. Majority of so-called Christians are not thinking that, because if they were, then their sermons would be centered around how can I prepare myself for the Lord's return, as opposed to how can I prosper and be successful in this society. Because if the Lord is coming back to take you to a better place, how then do you turn around and your whole mindset is on building a foundation and getting better and more comfortable in this place. When you turn around and say that I expect the Lord to come and take me to a better place, so shouldn't you be preparing for the return of the Lord? And then ultimately you'll find out a lot of them don't even believe that. It's something they say because they identify with it as part of their faith. Oh, I'm a Christian and born again. They always make sure to add that in there. I'm born again. I'm born again. Yeah. So what does that mean? Oh, born again. Born again. What do you mean? What does that mean? All right. So a lot of them don't actually believe it, because majority of them don't even know the context of it. They don't even know the context surrounding the Lord's return. What the world is going to look like. What is he going to do? How bad is it going to be? Who is he coming for? Who is he going to destroy? Is he going to destroy somebody? What do you have to do so you don't get destroyed? No clue. No clue. Okay, they just know, or they've heard, oh, the Lord is coming back and kumbaya and yada yada. So woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord. And guess what? Even those that don't desire it, woe unto you. If you're not of the elect, woe unto you. Because prior to the Lord's return, see, the Lord is going to get everybody's attention. Like for those that ever watched wrestling, right? WWE, I'm sure that you know about the Undertaker. And whenever the Undertaker makes his entrance, there's like this darkness, right? Boom, everything just goes dark. And then you hear the sound of the bell, ding. Then it ding, then his theme song plays, right? And usually people would look to the entrance to see, but he wouldn't be there. He would just quote unquote magically just appear behind whoever's in the ring. He has his black hat and shit. He got the white. Anyway, so that's what he does. So his entrance is an attention grabber, because the second that light goes out, everybody stops what they're doing, and their attention is now focused on, oh shit, the Undertaker's here. So the events leading up to the Lord's return are going to be the attention grabber. Right now, people still have the ability to go around and do things that'll distract them. Even though things are happening around them, they're like, nah, I'm going to go to the club or go do this, or things are open back up again. So I'm going to go do this, that, and the third. And they're not thinking about anything related to the Lord. So when the Lord cuts all of that off and the lights go out and the destruction hits, everybody is going to be put into a somber mindset. And each passing day and each passing week, things are going to be straight up prophecy. So people's mindset are going to be geared towards more like, yo, something is going on, like some supernatural biblical type joint is happening. I don't know exactly what it is, but it sounds like that Bible stuff. So that their mind is going to be there, and it's going to stay there up until Yahushua comes back. So the world is going to be in a particular mindset and physical state, which is going to be greatly, depicted by devastation upon the return of the Lord. All right, now this is the book of, matter of fact, let's start with this one. This is Zephaniah, the first chapter, and immediately, right when the apostle said that, this is the precept that came to mind. Okay, so this is Zephaniah chapter 1, verse 14, and these things are actually going to happen. That's the scary thing about it, right? These events, as crazy as they may sound, as they're going to happen, and they're going to happen very soon. So it says, the great day of the Lord is near. It is near. Now, this is Zephaniah saying this, okay, thousands of years ago. And as he saw in the vision, he's saying, what is near? It's near. So how near is it now? It says, and hasteth greatly. When something hasteth, it means it's moving with speed, with urgency, with the quickness. Greatly on top of that. That's that extra emphasis. It says, even the voice of the day of the Lord, the mighty man shall cry there bitterly, because that's how bad it's going to be. That day is a day of wrath, a day of trouble and distress, a day like before the storm comes, right? The storm clouds gather, and then you have the darkness, then you have the wind, right? Then you have things being tossed to and fro and so on and so forth before the storm gets there. All right. Well, guess what? We are seeing those things now, and it's only going to amplify the close. If there's like a tornado or a hurricane or a massive storm coming in a certain direction, before it gets to that area, the neighboring regions of this storm are going to start to feel it. The closer the storm gets to a particular area, that area is going to start to get darker. Wind is going to pick up, and then things are going to start getting affected up until they enter the eye of the storm, or whatever they, however they phrase it. So, and the closer the storm gets, the more noticeable, and the more noticeable the effects of it are. So that's what we're seeing now. Like the closer we get to this time, this time of great devastation, the more undeniable these signs are. And that's why you see people are even people that are in the world, people for years now, like 10 years ago, you wouldn't have heard people, except for those that they classified conspiracy theorists, make the statements that they make today. You wouldn't have heard the kind of things on the news that you hear today. You wouldn't have heard that 10 years ago. When they're actually bringing out what they deem conspiracy theories, and then they're saying that what's the difference between the two? 6 months, and they're making all these pretty much putting everything out in the open. Why is that? Because it's undeniable now. It's literally right there in front of your face. Man, a good majority of these things that were called conspiracy theories years ago are now being spoken of openly, not just by the media, but by those that the conspiracy theories said were behind it. The masterminds, they themselves are coming out now openly and telling you, hey, by the way, this is what we plan to do. You get down or you lay down. But either way, you're going to be down. Zephaniah 1 and 15, that day is a day of wrath, a day of trouble and distress. You hear that? That doesn't sound too fun. A day of wasteness and desolation, a day of darkness and gloominess, a day of clouds and thick darkness. My goodness, what did he see? It says a day of the trumpet and alarm against the fenced cities and against the high towers. And I will bring distress upon men, that they shall walk like blind men, because they have what? Sinned against the Lord. So in essence, what we're going to be experiencing is the wrath of the Almighty power that he has been forbearing for so many ages and so many generations. Now he's going to finally unleash it. That is why it's going to be a day of wrath and darkness and gloominess and wasteness, because it's going to be the Lord expressing that rage, wrath, terror, all of it, all of it. He's going to bring that recompense upon the earth. And the only way to be safe is to be exempted from it. It says, and their blood shall be poured out as the dust, and their flesh as the dung. Neither their silver nor their gold shall be able to deliver them in the day of the Lord's wrath. Somebody go tell these truthers that. Okay, because like I said, they will only take you so far. But your problem here, if you look at things on a mass scale, right? The terror and the things that are happening right now have a root cause. The root cause goes beyond the government. It goes beyond the politicians. It goes beyond the World Economic Forum. It goes beyond the elites. It goes beyond the world bankers. It goes beyond their agenda, and it goes to the Most High. That is the root cause of everything that's happening. The Most High is the root cause behind it. So when you say, okay, all these things are coming, get your bug out bag and stock up on this. Look, that's not a bad idea. That's using wisdom, right? But when you put your faith in that, as though I've thought of a plan to combat the adversity that's coming, you're looking at it wrong. When you say, oh, I have enough gold and silver to last me through whatever super recession or economic collapse is going to come through, and at the end, I'm going to be in a good position, you're looking at it wrong, because you're picturing the actual problem or the cause, the root cause, as economic collapse or famine, but the root cause goes beyond that. You may make it past a famine. You may make it you may have some gold and silver which can take you so far, but what do you do about the complete societal collapse? What do you do about spirits of vengeance? What do you do about nuclear missiles? Because all of those things are sub factors of the judgments of the Heavenly Father. So the real root of all these dangers and calamities and devastation is the Most High. That is where you should be focusing on, thinking, okay, what do I do so that I am not at the receiving end of the Most High's wrath? Because his wrath is manifest in what we see today as the hardships and the different forms of chaos. And that's what we're doing. So we're looking way ahead. We're looking past the destruction of the economy and the hardships. That we're looking all the way to the end to say, okay, where's all this coming from? Oh, the Most High. Okay, so guess what? We're gonna do what we got to do now. Take the right actions, so that at the root of everything, we can be good. We can be protected. Because if you're not good at the top, okay, of the funnel, if you ain't good up there, then it doesn't matter where. If you're in the middle, you're still going to get caught. If you're at the bottom, you're still going to get caught. And the way to be good, ultimately, you got to be of the elect, but you have to be proactive. Okay, this isn't something you want to be reactive about. You don't want to be teaching the false doctrines and going off in all these different ways and wait. I'm going to wait until the judgment comes. Then, or I'm going to wait till something happens. Then I'm going to get on board and dust off my garments and jump out there preaching about being instant in season and out of season. That's not going to do you any good. Verse 18, I'm going to read it again. It says, neither their silver nor their gold shall be able to deliver them in the day of the Lord's wrath. And it is going to be a great day of devastation, unimaginable. But the whole land shall be devoured by the fire of his jealousy. So what's an example of that land? America. America is an example of one of those lands that's going to be devoured by the fire of the Lord's jealousy. And what's going to be the primary vehicle for that? Those nuclear missiles. So what does that tell us? Oh, then that tells us that in order for that to happen, there has to be a nuclear war. So then that also tells us that then the tensions and the rumors about a nuclear war being on the brink of that, these might not be just rumors. These might not just be tensions that'll fade away. Because if that happens, then how does this place get devoured by fire? How do the scriptures of the missiles get fulfilled? Clearly, they haven't happened already, because if they did, I think we'd be having a different kind of conversation, if we would be even having a conversation right about now. It says, for he shall make even a speedy, that means quick, riddance of all them that dwell in the land. And that's going to be a day of what? Let me see the title again. A very devastating day. Okay. So lastly, it is the book of Malachi, chapter 4, verse 1. And this is also one of those good precepts to emphasize the destruction. It says, for behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven. Oh, now it doesn't mean that the Lord is going to take the earth. He has a giant oven in space, right? He's heating it up right now. It's on preheat, and then when it's nice and hot, he's going to grab the planet Earth and just put it in the oven. And no, okay, what's going to cause it to burn as an oven? It's just a metaphor. Okay, what's going to cause it to burn as an oven is going to be from the heat from those nuclear missiles. Okay. As well as the lasers from the chariots, but they're going to come in after this war has already started. It says, yea, all that do wickedly shall be stubble, and the day that cometh shall burn them up, saith the Lord of hosts, that it shall leave them neither root nor branch. So it's going to be a complete cleanup, a complete sweeping, a complete devastation. And we're going to witness that. You're going to have those that witness it right before they experience it and feel it and become a part of it. And you're going to have those that witness it and get delivered and see the fullness of it. And that's why the scriptures talk about the remnant were affrighted and yet gave glory. It's going to be a very scary thing to see. Look, man, I always give the example that picture things that aren't even picture like 9/11, right? Like, if you were maybe at the site, when it went down, or if you are at a certain particular location when something major happens, like the earthquake that happened in Turkey. Imagine those that were like right there when when it was happening. The buildings were falling and shit was shaking and ground was breaking up. To them, it felt like, damn, the world is ending. Like, oh shoot, it felt like a big deal. But maybe to somebody in South Africa somewhere, to them it was just a news article. Oh, there's an earthquake in Turkey. Oh shit, wow, it looks pretty bad. They look at the videos. Oh, whoa, that's crazy, right? But even that, for the person who experienced that earthquake, this was a big deal. This was like crazy. But on the comparison of an earthquake of that size compared to the day of the Lord and the destruction that's going to be taking place, these don't even get to compare. They're so vast in terms of destruction level that the earthquake will seem like it doesn't even exist compared to the destruction that is going to come with the day of the Lord. So imagine what it's going to be like to actually live through that, experience that, see it with your own eyes. And your mind can't even comprehend how and what is actually happening because of, man, I mean, shit. All right. Shit. Anyway, I'm going to end it here. Like I said, I was watching a video that was done by the apostle, and he mentioned that phrase, and it just it stuck in my head. So I just took down the note, threw some precepts on that, and we can't emphasize it enough. Okay, that's ultimately the point. We can't emphasize it enough because when it happens, it'll be as though we didn't emphasize it enough, and it's actually coming. And the Lord instructed us to what? To give warning. So we have to constantly put these videos out there and keep it in your mind. So those that are in the faith, you remain in the faith. And those that are playing games or dragging their feet or too timid to step out and do what they have to do, hopefully when you hear these lessons, it wakes you up. It's a wake-up call. Okay, because fear is a very effective mechanism. But this is not a bluff. So, that's that. Keep that in mind. Lord willing, this is edifying to the elect. In closing, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Racha Kudash. Until next time, Shalom.